Art Nerds, and welcome to episode number 7, I think. Are we on 7?
6.
Oh, it's 7 or 8.
I think it's 6.
7. I wrote down 7. We'll check it later. People in the chat, tell me if I'm wrong.
Go back and count.
Again,
Oh my God!
welcome to what we think is episode number 7 of the Pin Clique. Tonight we are drawing. They are drawing new gods. Let's see. The Pin Clique is our monthly online art show for any of you newbies that are joining us, and welcome if you're new. Welcome if you're not new. This is our monthly online art show brought to you by Visioncon, Clever Kaiju, and Playco Games. I am Deanna. I'm your host. I don't draw yet. I'm gonna take some classes from you guys, I think. But
it's not like you don't know some people. Yeah.
I know some people. They let me behind the scenes. It's pretty cool. I'm a member of VisionCon's all volunteer staff. I am also co-owner of Playco Games. And Clever Kaiju brings us my co-host, Mr. Gary Bedell.
Hello, everyone. I am co-host Gary Bedell of Clever Kaiju and the show here, the Pin Clique. So let's talk about new gods tonight and who's doing what. So tell them how we're doing this, Deanna, since we're recording now.
Yay! They're such professionals.
Take it away.
Such professionals. This month we have 9 artists so far. We might have 11 before the show's over.
Actually, I just heard from one, and his wife is ill right now, so he can't come tonight. So.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Best wishes.
Yeah, send out your positive vibes and best wishes. So.
Okay, well, let's start with Gary. Mr. Gary Bedell, what are you drawing for us tonight?
I am doing the god of isolation.
Nice.
Isolation.
Haley Codling, what are you drawing?
Goddess of masks.
Nice. Christopher Harris, what are you bringing us tonight?
I am drawing the goddess of disinformation.
Ooh.
Eric E. Danger Wright.
Tonight I'll have the goddess of thrifting.
Tonight I'll have. May I have?
The goddess of, I'll give you a quarter.
Give me a quarter.
Sarah Saltares.
Sarah, you're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted, Sarah.
I'm sorry. I am drawing the goddess of working from home.
Mr. Nate Howard.
I am doing the god of gaming lag.
I had to look that up. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, I took it very personal. In fact, I think, or at least the I don't know. Apparently, I'm pretty fired up about this sort of thing. So I'll
good to know.
I'll explain later.
Caitlin Blaine.
I did the god of DIY.
Very nice.
In our 2-for-1 square, we got Jenna Hansen and James Rutherford. What are you guys drawing tonight?
I did the god of comic collecting.
Nice.
And I did Bobbin, the goddess of the craft room.
So
Yours has a name.
Yeah, mine had a name.
He's the only one that had a name.
Yeah.
I love that viewer gave it a name. I think that was
theirs, because I forgot to name mine. Did anyone name theirs?
No.
Okay, good.
well. If you don't go first, you have time to think of a name. Quick.
Sure. Oh no.
No, see, no one knows my god's name because no one hangs out with them.
You know what?
He has no name. His name is Mud.
Fair job for the chat. I think the chat should name them.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I like that idea.
Yes.
My wife named mine, but it's a little on the nose.
Perfect,
I'm totally fine with going with. But yeah.
Is it named Nate Howard?
You know, like
All right. Time to get the art part started. Real quick, the way Pin Click works, you guys, the viewers, in the event, get to suggest for about a week or two whatever the topic is that month. Then this month, these guys each picked a different one from those suggestions and had a week to draw. I bet most of you started last night, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay. Well,
But we thought about it that whole week. and that's
Yeah,
like-
no, I had it
Yeah.
pretty down pat.
that's the important
That's where
part.
the real
We talked about
work
that before.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Christopher, you get to go first tonight.
Hooray.
And then he shuts down.
All right. So
Ooh.
here's my goddess of disinformation. I really like religious paintings, even though I'm not very religious. And so I modeled this off of a Giorgiano painting of Madonna feeding Jesus. And I thought that was a bit on the nose, but I just like the idea of we're consumed by the media and that we just feed off of whatever ideas it's feeding into us and we're all idiots. So I think disinformation is kind of a voluntary thing where to be informed is a decision. You have to actually try. So most people just feed off the teat and just take whatever people are giving them.
Man, this is heavy right out the gate, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
It's fantastic.
Those
I,
colors-
Oh, on her
let me see.
arm?
I did start mine this morning. So
So take that.
So you're wrong.
I was going to, let me see. I had a bigger plan involved. Hold on. There's the old gal. So I wanted to have like an actual, let me see if this will work. I was going to have hands coming from the bottom, grabbing onto it, covering the baby's eyes and then kind of pulling it down. But that's a bit ambitious for a few hours of drawing. So I just stuck with this original idea.
Got a Mobius feel to it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's one of my influences. I'm a big fan of old Mobius.
Now, Chris, is this set in the same universe as you've been setting in your other pieces on the
Yeah.
show so far?
Yes. So I like the idea of keeping them all in the same universe. So it's the same color scheme, the same style I normally use. And it's hard to tell. I was going to cover her whole body in these tattoos, but this is actually Hebrew here. It's from the Book of Enoch. It's like angelic text. And I was going to kind of cover it around to make it have a more ethereal feel to it. But I started here and I said, this will take forever. And so I stopped. Yeah, that's my gal. I liked how it came out. So
Yeah, man, totally. Good job.
Yeah,
man.
that's awesome.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Again,
that's a
I
heavy
always love your
benchmark
color
to-
choices.
To follow up on.
thank you. I like just simple, bright colors. It's kind of my favorite.
I was just teasing about you guys starting last night. It just blows me away that you actually did start this morning. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
This is great. Again, I love your usage of color. The composition's awesome. I like how the kid sticks out, or the Jesus,
It's a really
baby
beautiful
Jesus sticks
And
out.
It's a very big baby.
of energy. Like
Yeah,
the
I made the baby a little bigger on purpose. So
Right. Like we are
I love that.
clearly getting our fill.
Yeah.
is zooted.
We are spoiled.
I love the balance and the pattern with the head up there and the child, how they both kind of run almost parallel to each other.
And I kind of like the idea of we romanticize social media, so I kind of sexualize the character and put her in like that unique kind of bondage bra that
Yeah.
like I just wanted it to feel, it's kind of one of those things that's sexy, but it makes you feel wrong for finding it sexy, you know? You're like, why do I find that attractive? Is it me or is it
What's wrong
something
with me?
else?
Like the artist is poking you, like, "Hey, you got a boner?"
Exactly.
We are live,
Nate's on
aren't we?
mute.
But yeah, there you go. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Oh no, keep it on longer. Oh.
Yeah,
You know,
people are gonna
next-
want to buy that now. So
Next season, I think we should do a show where you guys, if you continue on any of these, like you always say you will, bring them back.
Okay, dear.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to like.
I was intrigued by where you almost put the hands around the baby's eyes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that a
I'll
lot,
do it.
too.
I have there was another one. I guess I could share real quick.
Yeah,
Hold on. The Krampus one I have worked on more. I just love it. I'm kind of I'm just awful to myself. I'm terrible to my mental health, but I guess it's not much. But I'll post a picture of it. But yeah, I'll make that come out. It'll be really fun. I think when I collect all these, I'll make like a little zine or something and give them out to people.
I hope we do the whole pin click thing. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, hey, all of you out there, if you want a pin click book,
Yeah.
suggest that.
Tell us what you'd pay for that. High
Yeah.
dollar.
Yeah.
I've just passing it around, telling people about what we do and stuff like on stream and everything. Like people are really interested in it because I share my part with the with a lot of our Discord channels have like an art specific, like, hey, here's what I presented, and there's like 10 other artists involved. Like they want to see a book. They would like to see a printed book, either PDF or printed. So
A book
just
would
gotta
be really
slap a price tag on it and get it done.
And we have people here that have run successful Kickstarter campaigns.
That's true.
Those going. So,
Yeah.
We know people.
you know
no big
people. All right, tonight, rather than smack dab in the middle, Mr. Gary Bedell is going to go second.
Whoop whoop.
So, and of course, you guys know I did the God of Isolation, and I didn't do mine I started mine last night. I started mine the night before. So, so there.
In your face.
In your face.
Oh my.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, so cool.
Wow.
I didn't have a lot of time, but I
Did he
really
order a
feel
pizza?
like
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love the sense of scale there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it was like little curtain capes.
Yeah.
I actually had a hard time trying to figure out what the head was going to look like. At first, it was going to be like a woman, but her face was going to be kind of mostly covered, and there was going to be a peephole for an eye. But I was like, no, I don't want to do anything like that. So I was like, what's just weird and out there? What is like isolation? What represents it the most? And I was like, the door. And so I was like, I'm just going to make this thing's head a door. That's
Great.
like, yeah.
I love that its cape is the like blinds that you pull closed, and like the play on something so ethereal and large and imposing, but then like this little man holding a pizza. That's just like journey.
That is wonderful.
That's so good.
It's just that pizza guy is probably their only friend for a while.
Yeah, we all know that feeling.
Oh, hi, I just ordered this just to talk, but okay, bye.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
they're talking about the lighting. They like the lighting.
Mhm.
Here, I'll zoom out a little bit too. As you guys know, I love my lighting. So I was like, oh, where are my focal points going to be? And I was like, here and right here. And I broke it down into thirds, but I've kept it really tight between here and here, just so you can see the connect. And I wanted to show like just the vastness of this room. Because originally it's going to be like him coming out of these cubes, and then there was a bigger one there, and they were going to have like these designs to him, but I didn't have enough time, so I just did these, and I think it still gets the point across. but I wanted to just show the vastness of it. And the arms, too, I didn't know what to do with the arms. At first, they were going to be these weird, lanky finger things, and it's like, no. And I just kind of started thinking of, doors, and I was like, oh, a skeleton key. And then I drew it out like a little rough of a hand of what it would look like, and it worked. So I was like, I'm going to see if this looks all right or not. So
Yeah, that's
what
I love that it's not kind of same as the last one too. It's human, but it's not human. It's not like a god represented as a person. It's very ethereal and otherworldly and kind of like chthonic, and I love that.
Yeah, it's very well done, dude. Even just the fuzzy object in the foreground, just to kind of give it depth, like in the right, just that shape you have on the right hand side.
You always do a really good job at like, rendering the places you want to draw the eye to. Like.
Thank you, guys.
Dang.
Does anybody have any questions about anything, or?
I want to see it in color. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of like the black and white because
Yeah, I think black. Yeah,
you get to appreciate the value studying that he did more. I feel like whenever something's in grayscale, you almost have to like perfect your light.
Mm-hmm.
I thought if it was in color, it would be drab colors because he doesn't care. He's always alone. This makes me kind of sad.
I mean, really, I'm just surprised he got out of his PJs. Unless those are his PJs.
Brittany says she needs these as posters to frame in her apartment.
All right, well, I'll have to give you one of these. How come none of you asked the question, how did the pizza man get there, and where did he go to?
Well, I have full faith. And
there's an open door.
There's an open door, clearly.
Yeah.
That pizza is not the reason for him calling, though. Because that pizza serves no purpose to something like that, to him. But I am disappointed in this kid's lack of social distancing, because, whenever you order a pizza, you specifically click OK on this will be a contactless delivery.
He needs to set that down. And
Put
walk away.
that down and you walk off my patio and wait until I answer the door and wave at me.
Well, with the doorstep kind of being his face, there'd be kind of a problem with that.
Daryl,
and I don't think T fingers can pick it up off the ground very easily.
Daryl says it has a Peter Morbacher Angelarium field. I probably butchered that name.
All by myself.
It's just that overlooming. He comes up to the pizza man, looks at him, and goes, "You forgot my drink."
Yeah. Where's my Dr. Pepper?
Well, I got a Dr. Pepper. I don't understand.
I have a coupon.
Oh my. Poor delivery service people. I don't envy your job at all, but you are wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are valued. Sure. You are loved. You are appreciated.
And before I stop sharing, the other thing I wanted to do this too is like where when you at first glance it's like, oh my god, this is like so epic and this thing is like monolithic, and then you look at it again, you're like, wait a minute, is that a pizza guy in there?
Exactly what happened.
I like the idea that maybe it's the god of isolation is actually the pizza delivery guy.
Aw.
What a twist. Like he's just there to deliver that one pizza perpetually forever. You gonna take this, sir?
Thank you for making fun of my pizza man.
Are we discussing Sisyphus as pizza delivery driver?
I think so. Yeah, thank you for taking a look at that, man. And I really
dope, dude.
appreciate that. Appreciate
that.
be back.
Awesome. Eric, are you ready to follow that? I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try.
Of thrifty or thrifting.
Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So
Oh, he doesn't come.
I don't know. I guess the idea was to follow up on Zoe Deschanel and 500 Days of Summer, and it's kind of watching a bunch of old Audrey Hepburn movies for some style ideas. I was thinking that she was into old music and had a fashion sense that was way out of date but high fashion. So I ran with this.
Man, the anatomy and perspective on her arm is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's impressive.
Like there's so much movement to it that's so pleasing and just bright and nice.
Yeah, I mean they're very subtle, but you put like the white polka dots on the light blue. Like it's a subtle thing, but if you look closely, like that had to have been annoying. At least maybe to me. Maybe that's not the right word to it, but like that's a level of detail that like I admire that. That's
So I used some liquid latex for that, just laid it down before I was doing the painting.
Yeah.
And so it resists the watercolor when you lay that down. And you can make these nice, just like pure white silhouettes out of that.
That's awesome.
So can you walk us through your process for this?
So I got some progress shots, but sadly they didn't save very well. Let's see.
Did you do this traditionally and then bring it in, or was it all traditional?
It's all traditional.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Now going back to our before recording discussion, what is she listening to?
So that's the best of Sam Cooke there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She's definitely listening to Twisting the Night Away.
Because
I like
what
how
else would you?
the sound of her headphones also doubles as like her halo of sorts, maybe?
Yeah,
Or
I
crown
see
of
that.
sorts?
Let's see. Hopefully it shows up okay. It's kind of pixelated. This is the original sketch here.
Yeah. Man, I like that portrait with the hair.
Yeah.
It's good move.
Mhm.
Thank you. And then, I mean,
Your anatomy on everything is also just spot on.
You're conveying
that
it.
was- with the liquid latex down, I just documented that. You can see the
I see, yeah.
Oh, cool.
and then that was, and that was the about halfway through the coloring.
Oh man, even in like halfway through, like you brightened it up, like your finishing touches really kind of added a contrast to it.
Yeah, let's see. So I mean, as you're going through watercolor, like your darks are the last color that you added.
Sure. Yeah.
So is that are your lines pencil or did you go over with ink?
I did go over all the pencil lines with ink.
Okay.
Right on, man.
She
And
seems like a very friendly goddess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a spring goddess.
I love that your love for the Art Deco shows in your work. Like I love that.
So is this what she does with, like, when the other gods like knock on her door, like, hey, 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 hey,
Nice. Go away.
Yeah, God, shit.
hey.
To touch on what someone else already said, I don't know if it was Haley, the movement is just lovely. It's actually really difficult to make a still picture look like you've caught it in the middle of twisting or moving or anything. It's harder than it sounds, and you do a very good job of that in all your pieces, actually.
Photographers will take 50 pictures just to get that one of that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Well, even the movement with the butterflies,
Right.
like, it just looks really good.
Is anybody else hearing that song while they're watching, looking at her? Looking at Vincent? I'm hearing that. I'm seeing her dance.
I'm hearing Chop Suey by System of a Down.
I'm hearing Call of Duty. Sorry.
Turn your background noise off, people.
I'm just messing with you. Thanks. Yeah, no, we're good.
Fantastic.
Super awesome job, Eric.
That's great.
Thank you very much.
Yep, awesome, dude.
So when are one of you gonna like prank us and just put up a piece of crap so we all have to go, that's nice.
Like, we're gonna do it on purpose?
What? Yeah, I've been doing that.
I don't know. Some of us have brought stuff that was just like nothing more than just a pencil sketch. Like, oh, I'll finish it later, and we're still like, well done. Like,
There's so much detail in the stuff you guys do. I'm impressed with this clique. I'm proud to be on the bike.
I like it.
All right.
We draw for the trailer.
Can we put that in the back of the print book?
Kaylin, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right.
Yeah. So let's see. How do I do this again? I forget each time.
I don't know. I barely get my side of it.
So this has to be one of the silliest things I've ever drawn before, but I had a ton of fun with it. I kind of went with the idea of making like an idol kind of thing. And so this is my God of DIY with its many arms, because there's always more than one DIY project going on at once. Like, I've got 3 sitting out in my garage right now. So.
He looks so happy though, so
yeah.
that's good. He's doing fine. He's good.
Yeah.
I love that he made his own sign.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Can
he's
I
like
say
that god
something?
that all the other gods are like, whoa, hey buddy.
Say something.
Yeah.
That thing is effing terrifying.
Are you doing good?
Yeah. I mean, it's cute and adorable. Yeah, it's holding power tools. So, you know, got the drill and the saw.
It has a paint bucket head.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's so cute.
That is great though.
Just look at him being productive, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's just the most useful god.
Yeah. So,
Gary, you draw some creepy ethereal stuff.
Right, and then it's like, are those just attachments or is that his body? Like,
yeah.
I love it.
Also, the sign at the bottom, just in case we
yeah,
don't.
Yeah.
he made himself, clearly. And he's so proud of it.
You know what I
Yeah.
think? I think that this god helps the god of thrifting when she buys something that's not quite, complete.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had just Googled the heck out of tools on like Home Depot's website while I was making this. So a lot of reference photos because I don't typically draw tools. But I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Some of this stuff is duct taped because that's a thing that people need. And yeah, I just in the middle of working on this, I would just start laughing to myself because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever made. But it was so much
If you're
fun.
doing the right thing, if you're doing the right thing, if what you're working on makes you laugh or smile, like you just can't help it.
Yeah.
Man, even though it's like goofy and silly, I love the colors of your shadows and like the rendering on it. It's also just
Yeah.
beyond being like silly and fun. It's really well done, dude.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
lines on the saw look realistic. Like the tape along the drill looks really good. Like I have a really hard time trying to do like bandages and tape because I feel like they just look gross and dirty. But yeah.
Like, could you imagine them offering a hand or 6?
Yeah.
Hey, I can help with that. Like, dude, is that your body part?
Well, in all honesty, too, minus like
hand?
the sharp bits on it, I mean, I could see people playing with this thing. You know, it's like this is a toy kind of deal. I mean, you know, doll up all the sharp parts, but you know,
I mean, it'll be a shock at first, but they'll warm up to it.
yeah.
Back in my day, we played with the sharp toys. We're fine.
No, the kids aren't allowed to do that anymore.
You can like pop off body parts or replace them with others.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If I had had more time, I would have liked to put him in like a little shrine with like offerings at his feet and like empty paint cans and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like screws and nails and stuff at his feet. But
Did you guys?
Casual.
Adorable Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Daryl in the comments said this is the thing that waits at the bottom of your bed in the dead of night to scare you into finishing your project.
God of DIY, help me now. No.
Or all those tools that you practically trip over every other day, except the day that you actually you're looking for them and you don't know where they went. They're
Uh-huh.
collected. They formed their own union.
Yeah. So
Very cool. That's fun.
You
Yeah,
call
I was
on
curious,
them for
like,
help,
when
like-
you voted for that one, did you see that name and go, "Oh yes, I got it"?
no, it's funny. I chose it because I was like, oh, there's a lot of things I could do with this, and then I had no clue what I was going to do at first, and then I
It's
just
really
started
overwhelming to me, yeah.
looking at tools on Google Images and being like, okay, what can I do? And then I was thinking kind of like the Hindu gods with all their multi arms, and kind of going that route and the bright colors and stuff. So yeah.
Also, you know, if someone hasn't mentioned it already, I like your usage of references here, that you took the time to do all that stuff. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
To go look for all the references. I mean, it's obvious, you know, you can tell that's what you did. So, yeah, kudos on that for sure.
Thanks.
And of course, your usage of color is great too.
Thank you. So
And again, I want a toy of this. Not life size, because that's too terrifying.
if someone wants to build this in Blender, I'll get it printed with a 3D printer. And
Season 3, you guys are going to be doing action figures.
We have a means to actually make them too if we wanted to. Like the favorite, like, you know, yeah.
cool. Well, I had a blast, so I enjoyed it.
Stuff.
It was a fun challenge.
Nice. Next up, Nate.
Oh, it's me. All right, so mine was the god of gaming lag, and gaming lag for especially somebody who, you know, does a lot of gaming for whatever reason. Hold on, I'm actually stalling. There's a lot of different things that can cause lag, which is really just latency and slowdown in games where like nothing, it's out of sync and your timing's all off. But it could be hardware issues, could be software issues. But whenever there's some serious connection issues, like everyone assumes that it's the internet. It has to do with your network or your ISP messing with you, and people take it very personal. So it's like my ISP is throttling me, or like, you know, the network is down or the server's being slow, and it's this most enraging experience you can have online while gaming. So much so that you are convinced that somebody else is at fault and they're doing it on purpose. So my idea of gaming lag comes down to just this dumb baboon with out-of-date technology, not knowing what he's doing, just being a jerk is what is the cause of lag for me.
I like that he's a wrathful god.
Like he's just out of date and out of touch, and he just doesn't. This technology is just like whatever. But he has all the power.
Wearing a power glove.
Hence the power glove.
I picture Nate as the baboon. Making that angry face. Is that where you got that?
No. I mean, it's just. I mean, sure. You know, that's the fun thing about art, right? You can interpret it how you need. No, I just always saw it.
When you mentioned that. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know you mentioned doing this with a fucking mouse, and I can't tell the difference. It's so good.
Yeah.
It was a chimpanzee at first, but then I wanted to be like, no, they're bitter about it. They're bitter about their lack of, because we live in a world where the internet and the infrastructure it's a livelihood now. Like that's, you know, I mean, it's ignorant to let anything just like fall apart or like in our, you know, we live in a culture where every other country's got it figured out, where we're paying far too much for far too little, you know, connection. Infrastructure is much better in other countries than here, and it's a joke because they can make money off of it, and they're just a bunch of just jerks that make too much money off of it and don't actually supply, you know. It was clearly I've been pretty bitter about this, so that's my interpretation. Because immediately, because if something shuts down, that's one thing. Like, oh man, something's down. Yeah. Oh man, my system's crap. I gotta reset it. You know. But if it's like working, but just barely enough to just piss you off, like suddenly it just sets off this rage that it's like they have to be messing with me. It's some idiot baboon who has no idea what he's doing, throttling me.
I love that he's pixelating away.
Yeah, that's his pixelating crown. Yeah.
You know, I don't know why that makes me think of like the Twilight Zone movie with like the gremlin on the wing, and like how he's like breaking the plane. You're like, John, let's go.
Yeah. Yep.
So now, do we have any gamers that are watching tonight that have a comment about this? I'm not a gamer. I had to look up what this meant before they picked it.
Oh,
I know most of you guys. Most of you guys game, don't you?
Yeah,
most of my gaming is on the so really if Twitch is having a problem, and look, I understand problems happen, but you know, and it's like, oh, I guess it's just being weird, but sometimes it's just, but I do most of my streaming on that, and that is, you know, not very much internet based. It's more retro classic stuff, but oh, just something about it. I think it just comes from bitterness of living in a field with really bad internet connection for so long, where it's like not even 20 yards from me, somebody had great internet, but they couldn't push the line just a little bit more.
Nope.
And it's like, you money grubbing sons of. It's like, you know, everyone else has got it figured out. Why can't we? Anywho. This is my god of gaming.
Beyond the rant, that art is awesome.
Nate's got some feelings.
But it's over now. I'm back on the grid, and you know, I am exactly that guy that I was jealous of, you know, 10 years ago. So.
Now the guy 2 houses down from you is like, Nate.
Yeah. Now he's like, you son of a, yeah.
We got a comment, second evolution of the code monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's Power Baboon. Is what I have it named.
Is that the name you gave it or the name you were told to give it?
That's the name of the art piece. That's what I have it named on my I don't actually have a name of him, but no, I just put Power Baboon. The Power Glove was like, he feels so powerful and so cool wearing the glove, and everybody feels so cool when they wear the glove. What they don't know is that glove was worthless. It was just junk. But it still sells for $300 because it was almost like Nintendo's joke that they just weren't in on. It was so cool until it wasn't.
And what's ironic about that is people buy them now,
yeah,
because they're collectible. So
Because of the
Nintendo's
joke,
like,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
got you.
All right, next up, Sarah, would you like to show us your art?
Yeah. So mine was the goddess of working from home, and I kind of went a little bit kind of Greek inspiration with her. Okay, let me see if I can remember how to do this. There it is.
Oh,
Coming through. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
There we go.
oh, wow.
So yeah, I gave her a. Yeah, no, this is the fun thing though. So whenever you're working from home, you only really have to dress from the waist up. So she's all beautiful. So she's all beautiful and ethereal from the waist up, but then she's in booty shorts and cat socks.
It's awesome.
I love the scroll down.
Is that coffee she's dumping out?
Yeah, it's offerings of many.
Great.
This is my day by day, every day.
This is exactly what I look like when I work from home.
No, it was, and you can see my horrendously disorganized like layers. There's way too many of them.
There's
Hello.
never too
Her,
many
her
there.
Wi-Fi filigree, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, her like crown and symbol. Because I mean, what's more important when you're working from home? Is a connection.
I love how
And
the texture of the shirt is treated. Like how
Oh,
soft
yeah.
it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I was
That
gonna say that
Beautiful animation.
all of your clothes look like they're thick and have form and like lay on another form. They're so
Right.
nice.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, this was actually part of the shortcut that I learned. I actually kind of like Gary. Like I was talking about, it's like, oh, I really only gave myself like 8 hours to do this. And I had to try and figure out a way to like cut time. And I'm like, I spend way too much time on line art. So I'm just going to line the important things like her skin form. And then I am just going to block color what I always spend way too much time making the lines perfect, like a bunch of hair and clothes folding. And I just kind of approached those a little bit more painterly, like there's no hard lines in her hair.
Yeah.
Or her clothes. But it worked for me, so I'm like, okay, I kind of like that, and it's much faster.
Yeah,
That's
I was
awesome.
gonna comment that I really love the like the art styles that you've got going, like but just the lineless work with the lines. It turned out really cool.
That little trick you're talking about with the line art too is something that is hard to teach people. Like line art is more than just drawing everything. Sometimes not including it is powerful. Like on the garments, that's really good use of omitting lines to show that the fabric's touching your skin. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, well done.
It was really
Honestly, your clothing alone is nothing but just tones from light, and it speaks in volumes.
Yeah, thank you. I actually, just a little bit about process that I learned that it was just an aha epiphany of like, oh, this is so important, is I've started when it comes to lighting, just drawing light and not drawing shadow. And it's made it a lot easier and a lot faster because if you think about it, it's like shadow is a secondary factor to light. So it's like hard to keep consistent when you have to think about where the light is and how the shadows should look. So if you only have to worry about where the light is, so it's like I have this layer over here that's just called shadow, and I usually do cool colors. It's either a purple or a blue or a green, something in the cool range. And I just lay it over the whole image. And then whenever I decide where I want my lights, I just go and erase those spots. So like, that's it, gone. There's all my shadow gone.
I see.
And then go in and erase and pop out light because drawing light's easier than drawing shadows.
Are you basically doing a multiply layer and then erasing from that layer?
Yeah.
That's so cool. You were talking about like all the other pieces you're commenting on movement, but I can tell that like that's what you really enjoy, because that shoulder, like leading into that little hip popped out and
Yeah,
into
yeah.
her legs with the hand lounge. Like it's such a beautiful, leisurely moment that's very well captured.
You.
That like line from the shorts too, going up into the shirt to like lead up to the face. It's just good eye play. It's very,
Cute.
very fun and juicy to look at.
I love
Yeah, I couldn't.
I
pull
love
off
how
those
you
line work
guys
either.
explain, like, I appreciated the less lines you were talking about. I don't know the technical terms, but
Like
I
line art,
appreciated
yeah.
it. And when you mentioned it and pointed it out, I didn't realize that was something that made me like that. Does that
It's,
make sense?
it's a lie that tells the truth. Isn't that what
Yeah.
Picasso said?
Yeah.
It's also the other way of saying, the fancy way of saying, yeah, you get it. You know what I mean. It's good enough.
It's-
I definitely like the Greek, inspiration, the way you did the pots, how they aren't lined either. They're just shapes carved in. That's a really nice border as well.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
that wasn't born of laziness at all.
Yeah. I get some serious like Disney's Hercules vibes from this.
Yeah,
So.
I like the pink on the cheeks and the shoulder and the knees. Like, because, from the waist up, you've got this beautiful blush, but that same coloring down below from the waist down, it's like, it's cute. It's adorable. Like she's been just kind of crawled out of bed and shuffled her way down the hallway to the computer and
Yeah,
like that flush, the knees, like the red on the knees. I don't know why, but it's adorable. Like having that.
Yeah.
This begs the question: what is everyone wearing from the waist down tonight?
Nothing y'all need to see.
When you zoomed in,
I had
I
tiny goat
noticed
legs.
her eyes were lit
Dirty
up
jeans.
too.
Not leggings.
So
I'm
cool.
wearing shoes. I brushed my beard for this, so I mean, come on.
Honest to God, sweats and slippers.
Put on cologne. Is that
No.
weird?
Fine. No, I thought I was gonna be super ridiculous and give her Crocs. But I didn't want to try and figure out how to draw Crocs. I was already taking too long.
Great.
Yeah.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
So can I see those brush strokes? Can you use them in on like the fabric really quick? And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I want to see those brush strokes. Man, look at those. What kind of brush did you use for that? What are you making fun of me for?
No, it's just out of context. If we took a clip of this right now, you'd zoom in on her chest. Oh, look at that. No. I mean,
Yeah,
yes,
let me
but
see
no.
them brush strokes, baby. Oh, but yeah, I want to add a little bit more depth into like the fabrics and kind of put a couple of hard lines in some areas just so it looks like it's really sitting, and like her throne is pretty much just a shape right now, and I'm going to go in and kind of get that a little bit more.
But I love that there aren't any hard lines or contours in the fabric. You know, you can use another shade darker to show.
Yeah,
where the
I
dark
won't be
parts are, but
using.
no, oh my god, it's beautiful what you have there.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, no, I won't be using any like straight black. I'll probably just go a couple shades darker, just a little bit more like maybe kind of in the parts that are more should be in shadow, like this half and right there by her booty and kind of down here where it goes back and around her hair. But
if you guys probably already know this, but if you ever want to check your values on a piece, just like put another layer on top of your whole piece and put it on color, and then just dump in gray, and you can test your values that way to see if like your lit areas are as lit as you want them to be. Yeah, it helps me out tremendously.
yeah, that is a good idea.
That's oh my god, that's so great though. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you guys. Make me feel so good. Awesome.
You always do such a good job making your characters look. I know this is. I'm trying not to be crass, but they always look so juicy. Like.
Oh, that's right, Krampus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a feminist, Haley. Believe in empowering women. Thank you.
Oh, shit.
I usually dread the work week starting or the work day starting, but because I work, my whole team got moved working from home, and it worked so well they let us keep working from home. I cannot wait to work tomorrow so I can show them this. You're like, guys, it fits so much of what we talk about.
They're gonna see you differently from now on, though.
I'm totally telling him. I'm telling him this is the drawing.
What shorts you got on? Let me see them socks.
This is a good cosplay right here. This
Yes.
It is. That's yeah.
the crown, everyone.
It obviously works.
Thank you guys.
This is great. Really dig this. These have all been great so far, guys. These are awesome.
Yeah, these are dope.
And it's cool, like seeing your guys' techniques, because it's like, oh man, that's a nice set of colors, or man, I should try that. You know.
Well, like what I was saying earlier, and why I'm so excited about this one is because none of us have seen these pieces, like at all. We made sure it was a true surprise, and like we're so lucky to have a group where everyone has such a different style. Yeah. That there is never a moment where I'm bored or like it seems like someone did someone else's. Like it's such a blast. I love it.
Yeah, we're all very.
It is very liberating though to be an artist that has discovered like, oh, I have a thing, or I have a style, or I have something that people could pick out like in a collection in a book. Like, oh, that's totally Gary, or that's totally Haley.
Right.
And, I think a lot of people will probably go their entire lives never actually knowing what it is that makes them stand out, because they've been thinking about all the things that inspired them to do what they're doing. So having another group to bounce it off of and have them side by side, it's like, okay, there is a trend. There is something specific about what I'm doing. And I mean, that's how it's helped me anyways.
For sure. No, I feel the same way. Fucking dope.
Thank you.
I gotta say, I like Gary's new rule where you guys don't peek, and I like that I get to peek because
And then we all have one that is like grotesque, and we're like, oh,
no! But like what you were saying, everybody has a different style. I'm getting to where I can pick out whose is whose before I look at who drew it. You're right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Honestly, that'd be kind of fun just to see if we do one and then see. You share them, and then keep from us whose they are, and see if we can pick them out.
That could be a
fun it'd be so
here.
Not even a challenge. I can do it.
Deanna, you need to throw one in there too when you do that. Like, who did this?
I like photography. I ran out of time, of course, but I thought about trying to make a god or goddess and take a photo of it, like craft it somehow.
Yeah.
I needed that god of DIY.
Yeah. Just get some scrap wood, some nails.
Don't bring that thing into the real world. No.
Some duct tape.
Yeah, he looked cheery and helpful. It's fine. Next up, we're going to the square with James and Anna. So you guys are gonna have to thumb wrestle to see who goes first.
Dun, 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 dun.
I want to see Anna's first.
You want to see Anna's first?
By popular demand.
That's fine. I'm going to move back so she can have the driver's seat then.
Back into the Annaverse.
You get away from there.
Oh my.
Okay, so
I'm center screen. So you go ahead.
okay, so I did goddess that Bobbin, the goddess of the craft room. Yeah, I wasn't able to get her finished or color because, well, I spent a lot of time giving her lots of little stuff
Yeah.
that I figured that was common for a lot of crafters, but a lot of the stuff that I incorporated with this was things that my mom actually has, because she does. She's always had a craft room, always done crafting and stuff like that. So, I gave her a glue gun, and I actually made a holster for the glue gun.
Yeah. Which is just handy to think that makes it.
Yeah. So, I gave her the she's got the. She's got pencils, she's got paper, she's got pens. Her hair pieces are actually.
I was gonna say they're
so cute.
fools, aren't they?
Yeah,
That's
they're a type of bobbins. So I stuck a needle and some pins in there. Her necklace and one of the things that she has on her other shoulder are actually stamps, because a lot of stamps.
Okay. I
was trying to think of a way to incorporate them. So that was the approach I went with that.
I gotta say, the mom in me wishes she was riding or flying on a giant ruler, because the scissors scare me.
I was gonna say the writing on the scissors is very Kill a Kill. I'm into it.
I figured she definitely had to have the giant scissors. Initially, I was gonna put them on the back, but with the way I had her laid out, with the way I had her positioned and all of that, you were gonna lose them. So that's what I ended up doing with it.
The scissors are definitely a good counter to like the movement of her body, to make really good composition choices there, for sure.
I like how her hot glue gun is tethered to her.
Yeah.
It's just responsible. You don't want somebody else getting a hold of your hot glue gun.
Can you zoom in on some of it?
I like how it's so thought out. Like, like the
so
tape
many
around
things.
her wrist, the ruler, like the pin cushion on her shoulder. I mean, it's so thought out, and it has that cool. You were talking about like, I didn't get to finish it, but I love that you still applied that time into putting it. To giving those thoughts into the character design. He's like, well, I can't do this here, so I'm just going to apply that to more of the character design. This drawing, I think it's awesome. It's a cool classic anime look, because I know you love the Sailor Scout art books, and I see a lot of that.
Yeah.
What you're doing, like, I'm not talking about the Sailor stuff you see on TV. I'm talking like the art book Sailor Moon stuff. Yeah, Anna knows what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen that, it's pretty different compared to like the stuff that you see on TV.
And she's captured a lot of that, and like there's definitely a theme from everything that you've done, Anna, where you've definitely turned, like, I don't know, I think actually before the stream even started, even before you guys hopped in, whereas like I'm really curious to see what you come up with, like, because you have you have like that style that's like
it's just such a thought out story.
Yeah.
Where I can tell like so much time was just put into making sure things make sense with the character, and like little thing that she has adds to her, just really well done.
Yeah, I definitely plan on finishing this one, because I really liked how she turned out. So,
She looks like she could be a really cute mascot for like a craft store.
Yeah.
Like the flow of Michael.
Yeah.
And you viewers, when you give suggestions for us next month, and we always need more and more suggestions, feel free to elaborate, because I think it was someone on Instagram that suggested this, and they named it along with it, and it was adorable and cute. Did that inspire you at all? The extra name, or did you just like the topic?
I guess both of them did. It's like it's like I thought the name really fit with the goddess that she was. So it's like I really like that. So yeah.
All right. And your
Are we
movement
supposed
is
to name
wonderful.
ours or come up with names for ours as we go?
I think that's fun.
Yeah, because yeah.
Coming from someone that stinks at naming things, I'm not going to force you to, but I love it when you guys do.
This is really, really cool.
So cute.
All right, Deanna, did you want me to go or did you want Haley to go?
Well, I'm going last, but
Oh,
Anna, you
oh.
said that
That means you have to go, Mr. James.
All right, so I did the God of comic collecting.
Nice. The hoodie with a cape.
I love
Yeah,
it.
the Eisner
Does he have the
work on his
Eisner
head.
symbol? Yeah.
Dude,
oh my god.
I love that he looks like a wizard. Honestly.
Yeah.
What is the E on his forehead?
That's
The
the
Eisner
Eisner Award.
Will Eisner.
I wanted to do a little bit more. I wanted to have Steve Ditko and oh God, what's his name? Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby on either side doing their offerings. Doing the offerings. One on each side, but I was like, yeah, that's a little too much at this point. So I just left it as is. But yeah, I wanted to get a little Stan Lee in there, but I was like, okay, we'll just do what we got here. So I was like, all right, I can at least get the Eisner Award symbol on his forehead, kind of like a, little symbol type thing.
Great. This colors came out awesome.
No,
I don't know if you
feel
did this on purpose or not, but I love that you did like the purple background, and then he has like that aura around him. It's almost like He-Man's transformation in the show. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. I love that.
I was looking at a
great.
lot of stuff where people were, like you look at some of them, the gods always have a glow to them. So I wanted to do that. And then I kind of wanted to do a little hipster action on it since we were going more modern.
Putting into a cape is so good.
Yeah,
Like,
so the hoodie into the cape.
The hoodie
Yes,
cape.
this is so hipster, creepy. Yeah.
I want one.
I know what I'm getting Mike for his birthday now. So when we go comic collecting every weekend, that's his
Well,
outfit.
what I really got was one of the guys I used to work with. He had socks that had capes. Jesse Nichols, he had some socks with capes on them.
Oh, that's
And I was like,
hilarious.
oh man. So I was like, he's got a comics, he's got to get a cape in there. But I was like, okay, I'm going to turn the hoodie into a cape.
Daryl Clonch, how did you know what my sorting outfit looked like? If you're holding out on us, if you have a hoodied cape or cape hoodie, I'm so confused on how to call it, but
Dave Stanfield said church services for this god are on Wednesdays, new comic book day at the store.
oh,
Yeah, there we go.
he comes in the door just like that.
Yeah.
Behold.
that's the energy I feel whenever I'm sorting my Magic the Gathering cards. Just that like intense stare with like tiny little boxes. Where I'm like, it's gonna happen. We gotta do it. Like the stance and the angle and the intense fucking stare on that guy's face is
Yeah.
so.
I love his eyes. They're just like almost
Piercing.
They are. They're just. I see through you.
He's sorting through that box without opening it. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
he's like, Gaiman's run was tremendous. And you shall now go to comic book hell where there's nothing but bent corners and no gradings over 5.
Are there designs in the background borders for comic strips as well? Like when you're
His comic board.
The
Bristol
bleed
board,
and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
your bleed and your safe area for comic boards. I was gonna throw like comics in there, but I didn't want to take someone's work or anything and throw it in there. So I was like, okay.
It's all right. They're all graded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, well done, man. I mean, that you told, like, this captures so much. I mean, it's not like overwhelming with detail, but what you have in there it says a lot. Like, I don't know, it has a really good balance to it.
Yeah, I wanted to do the pose. I wanted you to have it so that he was looking. You had to look up at him. I don't think it worked out that well.
No, you
Just
still
the turn, the rotation he has on him is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel like he's big.
Yeah, I'm a big comic geek, and this was actually my suggestion. So thank you, James.
I think this is the second or third one that you suggested that I took, isn't it?
Well, I have to
Yeah,
go
we're
back and
sensing a theme.
look. I think so.
Yeah.
Our brains are in sync. But no, I feel like this makes me so happy. I feel like that's how I feel when I find a special comic or like a variant that's in the dollar box, which has happened. I'm looking up on Comic Book Realm. I'm like, holy crap. This is a $15 comic for 50 cents. I feel like I glow like that.
And you're like, why the hell is Facebook bought this? How the hell?
Your beard grows out, your hoodie turns into a cape, and you are awesome.
I'm wearing a cape from now on to the comic book store.
Yeah, this is great, man.
Yeah. Well done, dude.
Very well done.
It's just that look on his face, like,
I know. That dude is serious.
yeah, he's just come at me.
Hey, comics are serious. Come on.
He's a guy, he like walks into your store and like the shop owner's like
Oh, this guy. He's like, one person goes to the back to get help to get all of his dailies or his monthlies.
All right, I think we didn't get any surprise guests. So there's.
I thought I saw Jeff. Was Jeff supposed to be one of the guests?
No.
I saw someone say I'm in.
Yeah.
But
it was Corey. Corey's not here tonight.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought someone says I'm in, so I thought someone had shown up.
Somebody in the comments whose name I didn't recognize said I'm in.
Maybe they're just hey, which
Yeah,
hey,
maybe they're just here.
It says Jeff Kissinger.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah.
Jeff Kissinger.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any alerts. I'm still confused by Zoom often. Oh, Jeff's here as a spectator. He cleared it up.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's tried to get in. So I think Haley, everybody's gone but Haley, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll explain as I try and figure out how to share my screen. I did the god/goddess of masks, and I think they meant medical masks, like with the pandemic and all, but I took it into interpretation of the emotional masks that we present to the world on any given time. And so if I would have had more time, I would have given them more faces and like arms and hands. But I think in total, this piece was like, 5 or 6 hours, and then some photo bashing. But I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory as far as the god of masks. It was all basically done on one layer with a turpentine and oil brush on Procreate. And yeah.
Haley, are you sharing your screen?
Am I not? Oh
No.
Her silence is not.
I was like,
Please don't
man,
misjudge our
that's one hell of
silence.
an intro.
Like, if I say something, then I
The
hit the wrong button.
suspense.
Let it
I'm
build.
so sorry. I thought it was. Okay. Jeebus Christ.
Now it has to be amazing.
this-
We've been waiting.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I'm so sorry. That's embarrassing. Well, here it is.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Ooh.
Well,
I love
Them
it.
abs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Like I was saying, I would do more emotions for sure, but I was trying to get like a, smug, angry, and happy as well.
Mhm.
But
We
yeah,
all
there's
are, metaphorically speaking.
I tried to make him pretty tall and imposing and regal, where like, he knows he's a god. I was definitely inspired by Aku from Samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, man.
And so I also think of the Living Tribunal from Marvel too.
Yeah,
So
I've
this
not
this is
really.
freaking awesome. I love it. I love the
Thank you.
design.
If we zoom in on the faces, you can kind of tell like they aren't terribly rendered close up. We got the
Oh,
Yeah.
I
captures pretty
love
well.
that though.
You got everything
Mhm.
up there. Yeah.
We need to
Because
flip it around to that chick because she's the only one that doesn't scare me.
No, that's what we like. I want to do the spooks and the scares.
Hey,
I
do you
love it.
like Anthony Jones? Have you ever heard of Anthony Jones?
Gary, I love Anthony Jones with such a passion, and he is the biggest inspiration. So that makes me so happy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love Anthony Jones too.
Me
I was like,
too.
he used to remind me a lot of his. So
Mhm.
I was like,
The,
good.
I wonder if I can kind of show you. Kind of. Here, we'll do this a little bit. I know we did it last time. If we want to do it again, it's definitely a little photo bashing where like I draw inspiration from images and kind of paint over them to start off, so I'm not staring at a blank canvas and panicking a little bit, and then we just kind of build and experiment. And like I think eventually at one point, yeah, I like cut and paste some abs into the drawing itself and then went over it with other paints just because, like I said, I really do. I know we all say it, but I want to go back and do more and like work on it more. But with the time given, just photo bashing and editing in is just really helpful in that situation. Is it cheating? Maybe, but I don't know.
I don't think so, because there's no real part of the original photos left in your piece.
Yeah,
I wouldn't see it as much different from using references to do your
Yeah,
work.
I mean,
Right.
It's still
you're
your
assembling a
work
puzzle
that's left. But I love it. You were saying that you're like, oh, I didn't quite render the faces too much, but there's something very masterfully painter-ish about being able to pull away and tell exactly what something is, and then whenever you zoom in, you see your brush strokes and your smudges and the things that the actual work of it. And that's something that I love, and pieces that I wish I could do more in my pieces.
I personally love when artists are able to capture, like, they capture the message in their lines, and you can see their decisions being made and whatnot. Like, I respect photorealistic painters and the like. I do, but it's like I can't connect to it. Like, there's like, wow, yeah, you are incredibly skilled. You have spent a lot of time becoming a master of what you do, but I connect personally more with the stuff that you can zoom in and be like, oh, you captured so much with so little, and I can see the decisions you were making and what was important to you and what wasn't.
I like seeing brush strokes.
Yeah. Your brush economy is really good. You're used to brush
Thank
economy.
Oh, words I love to hear.
Which I didn't know existed. I'm going to use that from now on.
Brush economy.
Yeah.
Tried to, and like with Gary as well, how we zoom, all the way out to just make sure the composition's good and the lighting. I love experimenting with shape value and, like you said, like brushstroke economy, which makes me really happy that you see that. It feels very good. Validated.
Does this one have one name or three names?
That's up to the chat. I say one name because I mean, when I was thinking the God of Masks, the first inspiration was originally kind of the mask we put on to the public when we go out into the world, you know, no matter how we're feeling, we have that like customer service voice and mask. Like it's that Midwestern, like, oh, how you doing? You're like, oh, you know, we're going through it. Or the oh, it's fine. it's that feeling, but you know, switching between your masks throughout the day. There's a deeper meaning that I hinted on, but really I just had fun with brushes and sketching them out.
I like that you do a lot of experimenting with your work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so rad.
This group and having a deadline really makes it easier in a way where I do kind of have to cut corners, and like with the shading with Sarah, how she was talking about trying to get it out within a certain period of time, but realizing, man, that's just like better way to do it. I want to do it like that old. So
I think, you know, and some of us are just for the first time really like understanding what's expected and when you need it by, like your deadline. And I think everybody matches it just fine, you know. But I think a lot it's part of the learning process of like, okay, this is kind of a day-to-day for a lot of professional artists. You know, this is what I need. This is how much time you have. Show me what you got. So it's fun, but it's also kind of a learning process. Also, it's like that under a time crunch, what do you bring to the customer? What do you bring to the viewer? Like that, and really that rush kind of helps you identify your unique style. That's the thing that you can knock out left and right, whether it's right now, you're still practicing with it, or later on, when you've done it several dozen, 100 times, and you can just knock it out left and right. Like, oh, well, I know that this project, I got the idea. It'll take me like 6 hours. I've done this so much.
Right. And I was talking to someone today too about the value of how long a piece took, like we all talked about how, these pieces took only a few hours. We started the night before, but they're all so good. And like it, time maybe isn't a factor. And when you show clients an end piece, they're not going to ask you like, well, how long did it take? How many layers did you use? What brushes are you using?
They ask you like, you charged me this much, and for something that took you like 2 hours. Like, yeah, well, you're not going to tell them. Well, 4 years ago it would have taken me 6. Do you want me to charge you 6 hours? Because I don't charge by the hour. There's a reason for that. But I can if you want.
That brings up a good question. How do you guys feel about when you have more time for a piece? Do you feel like you do more and better work, or do you do similar work in a short time if you're forced?
No, there's a certain gray area. I think there's a certain like hot spot window of where things are. Yeah, that's a comfortable amount of time, but I need to really hone in on what is needed and what is absolutely necessary to deliver it right as quickly as possible.
But yeah, the God of Math. Let's see if we can get out of this properly. Probably not. Thank y'all for peeking.
Thank you for sharing.
That was wonderful. That was very fun. Daryl says more time equals same amount of actual work, and the rest is filled with looking for reference.
Yeah,
yeah, that's super true.
Okay.
I actually didn't use the reference on that piece because it does take so much time when I like have an idea and I have to go searching for like the perfect reference. This time I just didn't have time. Like, let's see how good my anatomy
it was in your brain, right? I mean,
once I have it like up here, all I have to do is just make it. And that, I mean, sure, it takes time, but the work is more in like honing in and filtering out all the nonsense and actually deciding on what, like, this is what I'm going to bring. This is what, So yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's just more time for reference and more time to find, like, I might add some effects or be like, oh, that'd be kind of neat. Let me pixelate this, like on, because honestly, I started my sketch. I did the pencils for mine yesterday afternoon, and then did the line work in Illustrator with my mouse. I had to do it all with the mouse from that point on, using a pen tool to do all the line work. And then I did all the paint, all the colors, and all the effects. I finished it up today. I was done probably about 3 hours from color and effects. So
It's like we were talking about how Dana was like, I'm sure you did it all the night before. And we're like, well, yeah, but we spent the entire week thinking about it.
right.
Well,
It
that's
is true.
the theme of all these episodes. I was blown away when I started realizing you guys do. You think for a long time, but you do such amazing things in such a short period of time. To me,
We don't want you to like, oh, you can do this in a day, then we don't need to wait this long. We don't need that much heads up. I tell you, every bit of heads up is very valuable.
Yeah.
And it's because of that. I think a week, 2 weeks is 2 weeks is a good amount of time for us to brainstorm.
Mhm.
Well, season 2, we're gonna do an episode where you have 1 day.
Nope.
What are you gonna put us on the spot live in that
Oh,
moment?
everyone, the show just got canceled.
You're gonna get
All
some
of our
really
artists.
good-
We're sitting at the table. And we get some
Man,
obscure, like people are like, hey, can you draw this guy? Like, yeah, okay. Can I Google him? Because I don't know who this guy is. But like, can you draw this guy doing this thing with this guy and then doing this thing? And you're like, wow. Sure. Like, when should I come back? Like 20 minutes? If you insist. Like, I mean, we can totally make it work. But
Going back to you talking about earlier with the process and stuff, and all of us, we always start and do things differently. References, you're going to be searching for those a lot, depending on what your piece is based on. But I spend a lot of my time doing rough sketches, little thumbnails. Like with this piece that we did recently, my original thumbnail sketch is about that big, probably about half the size of $1, if that, and not as wide. And I just took a picture of it with my phone of the sketch that I liked, and then took it into Photoshop and started painting it. Because it just helps me bang out ideas a lot faster if I'm just sketching little versions of stuff and not investing too much time, but getting the general ideas down. And then I'll find a little one that I'm like, oh man, this one's awesome. And then I'll draw it slightly bigger, and then I'll take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Paint it.
do you ever find
That is a
yourself
good
going back to the
method.
other ones later on for something else completely different and be like, yeah, that's actually pretty useful. I could build off of that. And is that a thing that you could do, Gary? Like, do you ever go back to some of your like thumbnails, like alternate thumbnails, and be like, actually, I like that for this other project entirely? Like,
Yeah, or I'll find an old thumbnail and be like, yeah, I want to implement this idea into this other thing over here, or change things in it. Yeah, I've
That's
gone
cool.
back to old stuff and done that. Because then it turns into like a personal catalog. You know, you can have ideas for different pieces that are small, and you're not investing a hell of a lot of time into them, but just a little, enough to get the idea across, and enough to be like, okay, you know, this is an idea I want to pursue or not pursue or whatnot. You guys seen some of the stuff that I've shown you in my sketchbooks, and
right? Yeah.
done bigger pieces out of, but it just helps me get a lot of ideas out of there, and it's fun because you're drawing the whole time.
Yeah, and this is why you never ever throw away your sketchbook, kids. Always keep your sketchbooks. Don't ever you dare throw away a single sketchbook.
Never. Or put your drawings on loose sleeve.
James lowers his head.
Well, I think it is time to enter the plug zone where everybody is. I have put links, if you're watching this on Facebook, in the chat about the same time that everyone, except when I was behind and forgot because I was so intrigued with the art. It will be in the Facebook live chat where you can find everyone. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description where you can find everyone. Stick around because towards the end of the show, I will tell you where you might be able to see some of these people draw live and drunk. But let's start in the same order you guys presented. Christopher Harris, where can everybody find you and what are you up to recently?
I'm just working on some comics as always. I'm still getting used to doing watercolor paintings, so you probably will see me post a lot of that if you follow me on social media. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. People seem to like it. But I always talk crap on social media, so I'm going to continue that. But you can find me on Instagram. It's just my name, Christopher A. Harris. I'm the most boring man in this room right now, so.
No.
Easier that way.
Gary, how about you?
You can find me on artistgaryvidal.com. I'm most active on Instagram, a little less on Facebook, but more on Instagram. And you can find us on the Clever Kaiju on Discord. We should put a link of that somewhere. We don't have a link of that yet, but we'll get you a link to that. Thank you, Nate. But we have an artist community on Discord. It's pretty awesome. Or you can go or you can go get my book Thawed. It's a 118-page art book. You can get on my website. You can get Graveyard Slaughter. And you can get my sketchbook titled One, which I'll be releasing 2 and 3 later on.
Very good. Eric E. Danger Wright, what's up with you?
So find me on Instagram, Facebook, eDangerWright. Probably most active there on Instagram. I've just been working on a bunch of commissions lately, doing watercolor stuff. If you haven't seen the morning report piece, it's pretty fantastic. And here pretty soon I'm going to be ordering some prints of some stuff that I've done for the show. Got my Swamp Thing Beast Boy crossover colored up, and that's about to be a print.
Nice.
I did see that on Instagram. That was cool.
Yeah, so well done.
Thank you.
So see, they do finish projects they say they're going to work harder on later.
We could probably just do an entire like calendar of all the the hidden gems, the finished gems.
I think so. Who was next? Caitlin Blaine.
Yeah, right now I'm just, my main project is my webcomic Moxie, which can be read over at moxiecomic.com. I'm also over on Instagram, Caitlin Blaine 7, or Twitter, Caitlin Blaine Art. And then I also just have a generic portfolio website, CaitlinBlaine.com. So you can find me at all those various places.
Nate Howard.
I am Nate Howard of Mammoth Press. Graphic design, illustration, animation. First notably, comic series as well, called Potbelly Mammoth at potbellymammoth.com. Season 1 is available on the website, as well as the first published book. Volume 2 content is on Patreon at patreon.com/potbellymammoth. You can find me on Mammoth Press on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Also on YouTube with the Mammoth Press Multicade, where I do interviews with other creative artists and entrepreneurs and musicians, including some of the people right here in Clever Kaiju, among a handful of others. But also Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do live streaming on Twitch from the Multicade, from everything from classic arcade games to retro consoles, even some modern day PC games, a lot of fighting games and stuff on the arcade cabinet. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. On Twitch, also Mammoth Press.
That just gave me an idea for a possible prompt next season. Something with the Multicade.
Oh,
maybe.
oh.
Sarah Salteras, tell us about your stuff.
Yeah, Ashley, I am also a full-time student and work almost full-time, so I'm unfortunately not very active, but I am most active in art on my Instagram, and it's at Saltini1996. I've only recently posted the last 2 or 3 pin clicks. I'm so bad. I do love this because it gives me a chance to work on it. I do try and produce more art when I'm not quite as busy, but the full semester can be a little bit but if you do want to see any of my future drawings and my past ones, it would be on my Instagram.
All right. Hannah Hansen. Okay, last time we were having trouble saying it's Aoi Ryu. Is your artist name?
Aoi Rio.
Rio. So close.
Rio. Rio.
Woo.
Um, so yeah, you can find me mainly where I post most of my stuff is on DeviantArt. So it's deviantart.com/Aoi Rio. And I mean, how it's on my picture. It's in the comment section where you can find the spelling of all that. Really right now I'm working, most of the stuff I'm doing is for school. Some of that stuff I've actually posted that on my DeviantArt account. It's like not all of it because I don't think I can, because just I don't think because I can, but so
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, not much going on there.
But busy.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
Busy though.
Yeah.
Lots of projects. I have, just this week I have been given 3 different projects, so yay.
Good. Awesome.
Welcome to the world of art.
Yeah.
Yay.
One of us.
All right, James Rutherford, how about you?
All right, so I got the Instagram. It's J Rutherford Art. I haven't posted anything in a while, but I have been working on some sci-fi spaceships. Some of the group has seen it. Are we allowed to talk about the Visioncon stuff?
Hey, Gary? I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay, so I signed up to do a panel for Visioncon. I'm going to do an exploration of 2D animation principles and foundations.
Nice.
I don't know what day. I can tell you it on there. So just look at the schedule for the virtual Visioncon. It will be, I think I'll do it live. I don't want to do it pre-recorded. So I'll have some animation work, talk about programs, how I do 2D animation, stuff like that.
Awesome.
They're really cool.
Haley Codling.
Working on a few private commissions, which are always open and available. I love to do art for people, and I also like to make money. So if the two have
Win-win.
you can
Yeah, so you can or alone. Yeah.
on Instagram as Cyan Raw, which probably has my biggest catalog and posting history consistency. I am new and recent to TikTok, where I am posting some time-lapse videos as well and learning the joys and the ups and downs of being a creator on TikTok. But you can find me there at Postpartum Puss if you would like to come say hi. But other than that, yeah, just milling about, working at a coffee shop, doing art when people pay me for it.
Right on.
Yeah, look these people up and pay them. You want this stuff on your wall. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will do the obligatory Playco games as a sponsor. So you can, if you want some fun family games, keep yourself busy. Playcogames.com. Our other sponsor, Visioncon. Virtual Visioncon is happening. It is, I need notes to make sure I get it. Friday, April 30th through Sunday, May 2nd. We will be live on Facebook. We're still working out the details, but we've started taking registration. They're putting together at least 2 channels, maybe 3 different channels of panels and workshops and interviews. It's not going to be last year's thing we threw together because we wanted to do something. We are putting this together and trying to make it bigger and more like the in-person thing, just not in person. So yeah, if you want to be involved somehow, I believe we still have a post at Visiocon's Facebook page with some information. If not, ask us on there and we will get back to you. But the night before Virtual Visioncon, we are doing a drink and draw with Clever Kaiju and Visioncon at Prehistoric Brewing here in Springfield.
Yay!
So that is actually, we will broadcast it free and live, just like we do this. But we are going to sell a limited amount of tickets so you can come and watch it in person and make suggestions on what they're going to draw live, because that's not going to be pre-done art. That will be done in like 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And we will also
Who doesn't want to pay money to watch artists drunk off the rockers draw art?
exactly, and you might end up going home with some art. You never know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm
Always a
excited.
blast. I miss it.
Live, and like I said, it will be limited seating because COVID. So keep an eye out for that so you get tickets early.
Street
What
Boys
else? Next Pin Click will not be on our regular Thursday. It will be Saturday night of Visioncon. So we will be a part of Visioncon. A lot of these guys are presenting and doing interviews. So that's exciting. I think that's all that's coming up. Virtual Visioncon will have the schedule out when we have it completed. All volunteer. It's people that have jobs and want to do this, but are limited on time. So please be patient, but be excited.
And also, James brought up that he's doing a workshop, and so is Nate and myself. Nate, tell them what you're covering in your workshop.
I can't remember how I worded it. It's been a few days. Essentially, it's an approach to character design and illustration from like a designer perspective, like in formats that could be translated into like animation and heavy vector. So if you want to learn Illustrator Pen Tool, which you should, as much as people hate it, yeah, I'll go over all the cool sides of it. Yeah.
And it is cool that you're teaching them how to take, the design and then transport over to animation with that, and problem solving that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah.
That's really cool too.
Are you going to do yours live too, or recorded?
Yeah, I can do it live. I mean, really, it's whichever is easiest, I suppose. I can, I haven't decided actually. I didn't really know what was. I can do it live. I could do it pre-recorded.
That we're taking both, but if you do it live, people can ask questions and comment.
Yeah, that's very handy. Yeah, because it'll probably take like 20 minutes for me to go. Well, because we've been practicing in the Kaiju network with it. We've been practicing on each other, and we talk about it so often. We do what we do so often. And I think we streamlined it. So having a live experience, we can. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it live. You convinced me, Deanna. We're doing it live.
Yay! Yeah. And you will have the option. We have a home base this year. You can come in and do it from our setup, or we can zoom you in.
Totally. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be doing my workshop on storytelling and illustration by using composition and kind of doing the character design thing as well and world building.
That's a perfect topic for you. Tonight's art was a perfect example of that. Like there was a whole story in that just one panel.
Yeah. I'll be in the front seat.
Live. He'll actually be in the room sitting right in front of Gary.
Yeah. Or just sitting right next to you copying you.
Like, oh hey, what's up, dude?
Whoa!
Right on the chat. For some reason Brittany wants us to say wah.
She said say what?
Yeah, hello from Ohio.
Wah.
No, I like where.
Wah.
Right?
Say what? I think is what she is.
Okay, so I
she
think
was surprised by something.
I think that's it for tonight's pin clip.
I do have to say this.
Okay.
An idea for season 2 right here, because you guys were talking about video games earlier. Before we go, let us know what you think about this too, internet land. How about covers, like making an exciting cover or box art for a really, 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 really boring game? So like, tax papers or something like one called TPS reports, but it's like some guy jumping out of the building with an explosion behind him and like TPS reports like flying everywhere. But it's actually a really boring game.
I like that. I wrote it down. I'll put it on the list. Any
Awesome
last
idea.
words? Any last thoughts? We always do this. We always say we're leaving and then have 10 more thoughts.
It's called the Midwest goodbye, where we
Yeah.
just hang out in the parking lot by our car, just chatting.
Well, and also Midwesterners are like, nope, you guys said 10 o'clock. It is 9:57. You cannot leave.
But we always start late. So
But no, I just thought that would be like something I just love to see you guys do, and you know, with the audience suggestions and like the way you guys would interpret that, especially because there's so many different generations of people here and the video game covers that they're used to as kids. Like I'm used to Atari covers and Nintendo covers and Super Nintendo covers. Some of you are like familiar with PlayStation. You know, you grew up with that, or like N64 or whatever. And I would love to just see those different versions of that when we do this.
Yeah, and I think we were kind of chatting about that a little bit, where we were spinning with the Discord whenever we first put it together, where we have an open forum where anyone and everyone can be involved. And one of those things is like Clique. Yeah, it's like a group of us doing art, but it's going to grow, just like Clever Kaiju is going to grow. So naturally, we want to have an opportunity for other people like, let's see what you have. Like, let's see what you're working on, what you do. If you're inspired by any of our prompts, I want to see what your gods look like. I want to see what your like Swamp Thing hybrid looks like. I mean, as you don't just have to sit there and watch us. Like, we have a Discord set up where you can share all of that, and then we want to share it. Like, we want to, if we can align the time, like, which is we're still fine tuning everything. But if we had an opportunity to allot time to be like, hey, like this is what others have come up with. Like, we'll just do a slideshow and introduction of everybody else's ideas too. Like, I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
I would say we could even make it a specific stream.
Right. Yeah, we could
Joe and talk about viewers' submissions.
Like on a regular basis. Yeah. Like,
be like Critical Role whenever they have their like their pause, you know, their break, they have the fan art roll.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Like, we can enter and exit the stream with other submitted art. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
A good workshop for virtual Visioncon, because I am brand new to Discord and I'm not good at it. I don't understand it. I get confused. That might be talking people through your Clever Kaiju Discord might be helpful. At least to me, I'll watch it.
Yeah, and we can honestly, like, all through Discord, we can do live presentations and setups and whatnot. But I'm just saying, the tools are there. They're all in place. We've put them together. All it takes is, you know, the involvement and the interest. And so if we see interest in it, absolutely, we're going to do it. And it's not just about us. It's not just about, you know, everyone here on the screen, because we're just a small group of like, hey, let's do a thing. And hopefully we can grow into a much bigger thing. But we want to see what you're doing too. And I think the Clever Kaiju Discord and especially with Visioncon, like, who knows, by the time that Visioncon goes back to being live in person, you know, you might be in Artist Alley with us. Because, like, you know what, I have a god that I want to show off. You know, I have a Swamp Thing that I want to show off. You know, these prompts are really good, and they're brought to us by you. So, like, a part of it is like, I want to see what you thought of whenever you suggested these things. You know, not just
like
us.
it was your
ideas.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we've gone 7 issues. Well, it's not. It's amazing that we've done 7. You know, what, 6, 7 episodes of this. I'm surprised that we haven't seen anybody else's versions. So
October was our first one. This is episode 6.
Was it 6? Okay. If you want to go back and actually like,
did we do September? Okay.
Dr.
For some reason I
Bob.
thought we did just October, so this would be 7 then.
Dr. Bob.
Yeah.
So you go back 7 months and pick your favorite prompts and draw something cool from them. We'll see them. We'll show them.
Me, Southern Pod.
And even if you're wanting, you know, feedback on certain work that you've done, or you have questions about anything we've done, you know, you're more than welcome to come in there and ask us those questions as well.
We have a show and tell, and we have a looking for feedback channel. That,
Guys, I forgot to tell everybody next month's prompt when I.
Hey, can we share the graphic before we go?
You can, and look, my shirt reminded me too. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh no.
Babies.
It is. I don't have the graphic up. But the event is live on Facebook already. You can go to Facebook, look up the Pin Clique, rated R to G.
Oh yeah.
These guys are going to take R-rated comic book characters, movie characters, anything that's not for children. You tell us somebody, and they will make it safe for children and family friendly. Oh, I love that
we'll
saying.
still show like blood and stuff to be ironic. You know, it might. You know, I mean, if we're doing.
That's a bold statement from you, Gary. I learned everything I know from you.
That shoots
with
out
blood.
the guy's chest, but it'll be nice, kind of like cutesy blood.
Gary, you pulled the ratings in here. We're gonna
Like
have to get
Kool-Aid?
people to judge these and see if they're okay, if they're G, or they're gonna have to redo them. But I love your saying. You're taking the serious, dark, and gritty and making it friendly, soft, and kitty. That is brilliant, Gary. So there you go, folks.
So are they going to be suggested to us? Like,
Yes.
are they going to suggest the gritty things they want to see us?
They'll suggest a movie or a property, like
Okay.
an IP,
Okay.
like, you know, Die Hard or, you know, or
Please insert lots of signs.
Leprechaun. What's or like Sling Blade.
Silent Hill, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
like
nice.
Bad Santa.
Okay, so you want the whole property. I may have to reword that in the event. I thought you wanted characters, but yeah. Just the property, and you guys can pick which character or characters you throw out there.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to write that down before I forget. And with that, I won't remember what that means when I read it later. That's episode 7, we decided, of the Pin Clique.
For realsies this time. For realsies.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm looking for the right button. We will see you next month on Saturday, May 1st, instead of a Thursday night for virtual Visioncon. More details to come. And hopefully we'll see some of you at Drink and Draw on Thursday, April 29th in person. So with that, see you guys next time. Where's your click, Gary? Bye.